Welcome back to day 9 of God with Us. I feel a burning in my heart when I think about how the Incarnation provides us a breakthrough of peace. I heard a Jewish rabbi say that peace, or shalom, is the ultimate gift to be given by God. Peace is the receptacle that contains every one of God's blessings. In other words, if we have a crack or a tear in our container of peace, the other blessings that we might have will slip through our fingers. It makes sense. If you had all the family, friends, and money that you could want, none of it could truly be enjoyed if you had no peace, no restful heart. As Isaiah 9 declares, the birth of Jesus ushered in a new era of peace because he is the Prince of Peace. It even says that the increase of his government and peace will never end. And so the peace of Christ is surely expanding and growing more and more in our lives and in the nations of the world as time goes on. We often think of peace as the absence of problems or the ceasing of hostilities. And peace can mean a lack of conflict, but it also points to something better in its place. Jesus gives us a deeper reality of peace in John chapter 14 when he says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you." And the culture around them at that time was encouraging everyone to trust in the governing powers of Caesar and how the military might of Rome would give the people peace. But that peace was only external and temporary. The peace of Christ is everlasting, and it reaches to the very depths of our hearts. It's a far superior peace. He says, "My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." The peace of God brings us wholeness. It means that nothing is missing, nothing is broken. Maybe you've had a bad day and you feel broken, depressed, or discouraged. We've all found ourselves in situations where we're uncertain, where we struggle and we're helpless and anxious and fearful, and peace seems a long way off. If that's you, may God reveal his window of hope, his door of opportunity for peace, so you can trade your sorrows for the joy of the Lord. The book of Isaiah promises you will keep him in perfect peace, in perfect shalom, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. His covenant of peace will never be removed. Wherever we find ourselves, God is encouraging us to worship our way into his near presence, because the peace of God is more than a state of being. He's a person. As Ephesians chapter 2 verse 14 tells us, he himself is our peace. So if we have Jesus, we have all the peace that we could ever need. No matter how stormy or rough our circumstances may become, he rises and rebukes the wind and waves, saying, "Peace, be still." He freely gives us miraculous peace that would otherwise be impossible. It's that word impossible that grabs my attention. We can trust him for impossible peace because of the Virgin's birth. This is our sign today. We can stake our life on it. As Isaiah 7 verse 14 points out, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will be with child and will give birth to a son and will call him Emmanuel." This is a fascinating miracle. In Luke chapter 1, where Mary is told how the Holy Spirit would come upon her and the power of the Most High would overshadow her, the angel also talks about her relative, Elizabeth, being pregnant, who was unable to have children physically and too old to become pregnant. But the angel declares that nothing is impossible with God. I love the faith that these miracles inspire. This is the amazing kingdom that we are a part of. It's like the story of Abraham and Sarah in Genesis chapter 18. They're getting older and older and wondering, is God really going to come through here? And eventually, Sarah became pregnant at 90 years old. And God said, is anything too hard for the Lord? Nothing is too difficult for him. He's willing and able to awaken everyone in Campbell River to the peace that's found in his near presence. Do you realize who this baby in the manger is? Do you see that he's the creator and sustainer of all the galaxies of the universe, and yet he also lives among us and gives us new life? As John chapter 1 says, no one has ever seen God, but God, the one and only, who is at the Father's side, has made him known. Do you see Christ's holy face and fear him? Are you struck by his purity and in awe of his mercy? Jesus, we bow our lives before you, and we magnify you and crown you as King, for you are Yahweh Shalom, God with us.